one thing that's really nice about a good emery stick is that when it's well made, it has these creases. So you can get a nice edge between two surfaces, but you can peel these really easily along the creases that you made and, you know, get a nice clean edge again and not have a lot of stuff hanging over. But it occurred to me that you may not know how to make a nice emery stick for yourself, so I'm going to show you. You want a nice piece of wood. This was originally an emery stick. It had emery paper glued to it, and of course that long since wore out, and now it's just used as an emery stick. Paint stirrers will work. You want it to be consistent, not tapered in thickness or width. And I'm using this piece of emery paper, which is it says number 1. I don't know how well this is going to work out. It's really old paper. But there's a trick to it that you may not be aware of. You don't just wrap the emery paper around the stick. Here's what you do. Start out with it so you can see this edge here. And you want to line that up really, really accurately with the edge of the wood so there's no hangover of paper. You don't want it sticking over the edge of the wood. You just want to be right up flush. And then I take my bench knife, just a regular old, case knife, and you want to lightly score. Hold on to your emery stick firmly so it doesn't rock as you go along it, but you just want to score along the paper. And then carefully lift this up one more time and score it again. And now at this point you can start to wrap the emery paper around your stick because it has these score marks. See that it's folding up nice and evenly, so let's just get you started. Snug it up real nice and tight into there and just keep scoring. Accuracy is important. Neatness counts. You're going to snug it up tight every single time. Otherwise, you're going to start to get a trapezoid instead of a rectangle, and it's going to be floppy. And you just keep on going until you've used up the entire piece of emery paper. And I can see by the way these edges are lining up, there's not a lot of drift, that I got it nice and parallel and straight. I don't remember if I scored it. I didn't score it there yet. So here you go. Just right up snug. You just want to, don't cut all the way through. You'll get the hang of a nice, smooth, consistent stroke. And what this also helps to do, besides just creating, corners that are going to fit into angles well and do the emery work that they need to do, it also has flatter surfaces. If you were just to wrap this, each face of this would kind of dome a little bit. This way, because you're scoring it, it lays flatter. So it's a truer surface. And that's handy if you want to do the edge of a bezel or something. You can just rub it right along there, and it's not going to be dish-shaped underneath because this is pretty much flat. So I keep on going. I'm almost done. Let's just finish this up. That goes pretty quickly. And then see there's a little leftover bit that's not going to be long enough. It's not as wide as one whole thing. So this last one, I'll just score it a little extra harder. And I can just trim that neat as can be. And then I have that edge also nice and neat. So now when I go to emery, I don't have anything hanging over. And every time I use up one face, then I can just go open it up a little bit and score right along there and remove one piece and still have, 3 nice sides. As you start to work it right now, obviously, because it's brand new, both sides are the same. But as you work it this way, every time you tear off a section, now you're going to have fresh emery underneath of that, and you're going to have a slightly older emery on the other side. So you effectively have a coarser and a finer in hand every time. When you're done with this, bind one end or both ends, whichever you like, with a rubber band, even though you're not supposed to have rubber anywhere around silver. Rubber bands, I mean. If rubber band or a piece of wire, binding wire that you can then, twist up really, really tight. You don't want to go super, super tight because you're going to have a handle at one end. If, as you're using it, you can just push the handle to the other end, and now you've got fresher emery down here. So you can just go like that, and you just move it along, and that way you really, really utilize the entire length of the emery paper. You're not letting anything go to waste. And this little strip that I peeled off at the beginning, I'd cut this into about thirds, and I could use these as a slap wheel on a slotted mandrel in my flex shaft for this type of a thing, where this spins and it creates, an emery effect in my flex shaft as it spins. It's like a barrel effect. Anyway, so that's your little emery stick lesson for the day.